Who the fuck is this? No, I am a Scratch. You can battle me, buddy. I'm not gonna have you on the panel, buddy. You can battle me though. Just go live and put it 21 plus, and I'll battle you. I don't do panels.
What's up, y'all? We're live again here on YouTube. We're gonna try and find somebody to debate.
Bro,
on
oh my
TikTok.
gosh. No, because you think that you're
No,
smart.
no,
because
not
you
because.
could pick.
No, no, no,
You
no.
think
I'm
you're
not.
gonna
No, no,
quiz
no, no,
me?
no, no,
I
no,
could
no, no,
quiz
no, no,
you
no.
right back.
I'm not
dude.
smart. I'm not smart. I'm an average person who has
Good.
an incredible passion for his country, and I want it to do better.
As per usual.
So
You
what
have
I'm
teeth.
going.
What are you doing right now?
I don't know how to. Is it possible for me to mute this shit on my end? No. That's dumb. That's really dumb. Okay, here's what I'm gonna end that. I'm gonna go final live. Okay, we're gonna request up in it, and then we're gonna debate. Also, as usual, since we're live currently on YouTube, you should, if you want to, you should be able to request up within the Discord. So let me find somebody to debate real quick. Mega. Looks like we're not finding. You're looking inside a Democrat's head. Oh my gosh, all these are so trash. They're so trash. I don't know. Like, do they think like this is helping anybody? Hey, what is he really going to? Debate abolish the military around. Oh my fucking god! Men fear women's success. Women do not need men. Obvious rage bait. Make Mexico great again. Not my shit. Islam is false. Don't care. More random pro-choice stuff. Holy shit! It's Forrest, bro. I'm such a big fan of this dude. I want to be requesting. God damn. Fucking love that dude. I support and defend ICE. Well, let's take a lookie. Okay, give me a second. Let me start streaming this. We're going to try and get up on the panel.
Regime? Yeah, no, I'm not a fan of them at all.
How you doing?
You sit down, pour that's why. Hey, sir, 10. I'm retired at the age of 40, bro. I'm so poor. I'm retired by the age of 40.
I hope this mic is equalizing.
Little sir, 10, little tank. You just keep working, dog. Someday you'll get there, bro. Probably when you're 67. Anyway, what up? We got Scratch.
What's up? You say you support and defend ICE?
Yeah.
Yeah, why's that?
Why the hell wouldn't I?
Yeah, because ICE is violating the Fourth Amendment currently.
No, it's not.
Yeah. Ray Bavino literally said, yeah.
What's the Fourth Amendment?
The Fourth Amendment's protection against unreasonable search and seizure of your person's property, etc.
How they violating that?
When they're doing warrantless arrests, they're only doing them with reasonable suspicion.
No, they got warrants.
You need.
No,
I
they
said
got
no. When they do
They got warrants.
warrantless, you
they
can
got-
do.
they got
Okay, you want
warrants,
ICE.
They got warrants. They got
ICE.
warrants, and they got probable cause. You don't like it? Too crazy.
ICE, you understand? You can do warrantless arrests. That's legal for ICE to do in the INA. They just need to have probable cause.
It's not. It's administrative warrants. And yeah, they
Oh
got
my gosh,
probable
okay.
cause.
ICE.
Oh my God! Come on, man! Don't come
Can I
in here
finish my argument?
sound like
ICE, dude, and the INA.
No, you don't have an
I'm
argument.
trying to finish. If an immigration
You don't
lawyer,
have an argument. You're anti-eyes. Means you ain't got no argument. You got feelings.
I'm trying to
got
give
no
you my argument, but you keep beating me.
You ain't got no argument.
I
You
guess
just
you
got
don't like the
feelings.
First Amendment either. Damn, is what it is.
No, not-
That's what I
Hold
expect,
on.
though.
Hey, scratch. Didn't you guys like?
Can I
didn't you
finish?
guys, like get
you-
all pissed off?
By the way, I'm
Let me-
streaming to people,
let me ask you a
so
question. Let me ask you
cool.
a question. Let me ask
so
you.
I'm gonna
Didn't
keep
you guys-
talking. It doesn't matter if you meet me. So Immigration
Question, let me ask you a
officer.
question.
So I'm just gonna
Did you
keep
guys-
talking. It doesn't matter if you mute me.
Bro, oh my gosh, what are you
I actually
Renee,
fucking hate TikTok.
It's a short
Actually.
little pocket.
doing right now?
It's so toxic. Holy shit. Like, kill me. I go on a panel and I can't even explain my argument. It's like, oh, you're against ICE?
Maybe.
You don't have an argument, bro. Get muted.
Yeah. So I
Do need ID to vote.
would be.
Are there any of these good
I
panels?
will never even know what that actually.
Has to be in her late 20s maybe now.
Just give me a sec, guys. We're gonna find another stream. While you're at it, please like the live. Comment, you know, do all that good stuff. That based, chill stuff. That really helps the live out. Once again, if you disagree, you can request in Discord. Here, I don't know if it's in my windows yet. Still. Here, Discord and bio to debate. I'll send this. I'm putting this in chat, and I'm gonna pin this for all y'all wonderful peeps. Oh, we find another debate on TikTok here. Quit obstructing ICE. What is eat? Oh shit, I need to get into Discord. That's my mistake, y'all. You realize? Gotta hop in there. Shit, notebooks and friends. Oh my fucking god. The live battles actually annoy me. It's just people, like, jerking themselves. There's no actual substance ever. We do people are pissed off, age 27 from, I'm dangerous to democracy? What does that even mean? Oh my god. I can't, like, they were arguing about trans people in bathrooms. It's just like stupid cultural bullshit that I just hate. Like, the president's actively violating the Constitution, and we're talking about, like, trans people, trans women in men's bathrooms. Like, oh my gosh, there's way more pressing issues to be mad over or to talk about. It's actually just pissing me off. Ice, why are you mad? Okay, hopefully I can get into this one. Let's see if they let me up, y'all. And then I'll...
Honestly, like when I really like think about it, it's like they're not actually committing violence. If you're talking about like, yeah, the cars are unable to move, I can think of like 100 different protests where that's happened. I mean, even think about the South Carolina one where the guy like drew like his car through people. You know what I mean? It's like, do we want more situations like that? You know what I mean? Like if they're not being outwardly violent toward them, like are we just kind of like cutting it down to like, oh, they're blocking their cars and that's bad? I mean, I guess, but probably proves more of a point than you think in the news.
Yeah, but I mean, what else is someone supposed to do though if you're blocking and that person feels endangered? You know what I mean?
Why would they feel in danger?
Why do people feel in danger? I mean, so if I'm driving down the road and I have my children in there and I get surrounded, I'm gonna fear for my children's safety because we have no way out. What else am I supposed to do? Just sit there and take the possibility of something happening to my children or myself? Absolutely not.
Are we advocating for like unaliving people who surround your car?
Nah, I don't know. That's like a DeSantis
You're not even allowed
thing.
to do that.
I'm
like,
not really a big fan of it.
Even under, I think even under the Florida law, I think they had to be like trying to like either damage your car, or, like reach into your car, and like grab you out.
No, in Florida, if they block roadways and you tell them to move and they don't, you can run right through them. You give them a warning. If they don't, you can go right through them, and they're not gonna do nothing about it because you're not protesting properly. You're not protesting on the side of the road.
Yeah,
You're not protesting. You're standing in the middle of the road.
I think a lot of people are.
That's
though.
just like I'm
They are
pretty sure. Like
protesting, though,
I remember reading Florida law because I was arguing about it. the one that Santa's passed. That's just not true at all. Yeah, I think they have to be like reaching into your car, like trying to damage it, and then like that would allow you to
Nope.
then do that. Yeah,
I'm
you
not from
can't.
Florida. I have no idea.
No, it's Sheriff Grady clearly said if they're blocking the roadways, they have every right to go. You warn them. If they don't move, you go through them forcefully with your vehicle, and they will deal with it later. That's what Sheriff Grady said. And to be honest, I mean that's how it should be. And let me put you in a hypothetical. Both of you guys, not both at the same time, one at a time. Okay, say you have to go to work, and these people cut and stop in front of your car and tell you, do you vote? Do you support? Oh, I hate to speak an echo when somebody comes up. Do you support ICE? And if you say yeah, they don't let you buy, and you have to go to work. Wait, you're gonna lose your job? You'll be oh, guys, okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't run over them.
What you
Yeah, I
guys
think
are
that should still be
protesting
illegal.
for.
Yes.
How come
So
nobody
you would
liked
lose
ICE? I don't understand it.
Would I lose my job over some dumbass getting
How
on a
come
lie
nobody? How
against
could
multiple
not
people?
anybody
Actually,
like
yeah, I
ICE
would. I would actually. Yes.
You would lose your Jesus Christ. You would
call my
lose your
boss.
job because people wanna block you from going by an intersection. You would say you would let it happen?
Well, didn't that happen during like the Wall Street protests in 2008? Like, didn't people just leave their jobs and just walk out on the streets? You know what I mean?
No, this isn't
I was in
walking
the
on.
break room today, and I said I like ICE, and the whole thing got misconstrued.
Oof.
Why do you must have backed out?
I mean, I get your argument. I'm just saying, like, there are definitely other kinds of protests than just blocking cars. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
maybe
Okay.
we
So
can just agree to
I am
disagree
right.
on like
Yeah.
that
It would have to
specific
be.
one, but you
It
know,
would
Hold
have
on,
to.
guys.
It would
One
have
sec.
to be. It would have to be that you
One
would have a
second. One second.
reasonable
What
fear
are
of
you
like
gonna
imminent.
do?
Hold on.
Throw
One second. One
flowers
second.
at him?
Hold on, guys. One second. Smooth down there. So I'm supposed to trust a bunch of white guys with masks on their face telling me I'm not a citizen. You do realize that
Sorry, I can't do
it's
this.
mixed, right? It's not just white people that are ICE agents.
Yeah. So. Okay. But like the
face
No,
mask thing
the
is
Florida
bad.
law
Well,
requires that you have a
he's
reasonable
stating,
you
the
have a
person
reasonable
down
fear.
there
I'm
is
guessing it's like
stating
an
that it's
imminent
only
threat to
it's
bodily
white
injury.
people.
You have.
That it's white people that are only ICE agents, basically. So it's not.
I don't. Okay.
True. Just women,
Yeah.
like
So I'm just reading. Yeah. I'm just
African-Americans,
reading the
and
law. Yeah. You have to. So if you have a fear of
It's
imminent threat to bodily harm or death, then the Florida statute allows you to do that. But remember, in court, this is going to be if a reasonable person would have fear. So let's pretend like a bunch of protesters surround your car and just waving signs, and then you go like run them over to get to work. In a court, they'd probably say, well, that you didn't have like a reasonable fear to like bodily harm or death, and then that would be illegal. So it's gonna have to be like they're either pointing weapons at you, they're promising, like they're threatening you, and you feel like they're somehow like have the ability to then harm you.
it's
Then
the
I'm-
Wild West in
All
Florida.
right,
It's not just
so
Wild West,
so
you can just
since you
run over
want to
people.
hold on, Scratch. Since you want to justify that it's okay for people to surround innocent people's
I didn't
cars.
justify that. That's not what I said.
I mean, you are like.
No, I
give
literally
no
just said you
props.
can't. I just said you
I
can't
give
run
no
them over.
props.
I didn't say
I
that
give no
that's a
props.
justified thing. I don't think it's
But
justified to
anyways,
surround around people's cars, though.
So let me ask you a question. How would you feel if immigration or ICE did it? Surrounded innocent bystanders' cars, and impede them. What's the
Don't they
difference?
do that already?
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I want. What? How do y'all feel about that?
Give me an example where ICE has literally blocked an intersection and not let people by, and
Let me give you advice.
How would I feel
Give
if
me
ICE?
advice.
Wait, sorry,
Hey.
sorry. How would I feel if ICE was blocking people from going by?
Yeah,
If they're doing it, if they're doing a part of an enforcement
Better yet,
operation,
if they're surrounding a vehicle,
I would probably.
one of the people that they are trying to deport, and that person is in a vehicle, and they surround that vehicle. How are you going to feel about that?
That's fine.
I'm gonna be
yeah,
late
they
to
can do
work.
that.
I might lose my
They can
job.
do that,
Give you
yeah.
advice about that?
I'm not gonna.
What
That's
they
not.
would do?
That's not illegal. Yeah, you can do that.
Can I hit them with my car if they're impeding me? If I
No,
can't
they
get to
would
work?
say, "Get out of your vehicle," and then
I'm
the
gonna be late to
person
work,
should
though.
say, "Okay."
But isn't that the same
That's
thing as the Democrats though? Because like you're still late to work and they're still surrounding your vehicle. So like, should you hit the ICE agent because like you think that they might hurt you or something? Like,
Fuck
is
your
that what?
vehicle. Like, what the fuck are you gonna do with your vehicle?
Well,
But you
that's what I'm
still
saying.
have to avoid. You still have to obey the law.
But what I'm saying is like we're talking about like Democrats shutting down streets and you're stuck in your car, and then ICE shutting down streets and you're stuck in your car. So like, what
no,
is the
no. I'm just
difference?
saying,
Yeah.
like
Okay.
people bring the
Still.
argument. People bring the argument up about how if someone was talking about the tear gas, right? About innocent, right?
Yeah,
Do you recall the 6-month-old? Do you know how that happened?
I'm
Oh
not
my
sure what you're
What are
referring
you
god.
talking
to.
about?
Is this real life?
All
Oh,
right.
you with the
Whatever.
You have
gas or
to
whatever.
Do
obey
you?
the law.
All right. You've had too much apple juice. You're slurring your words. I can't
Yeah,
understand
my.
you. But anyways, the 6-month-old. You guys haven't heard about that?
No.
So that's shocking because it was all over about this 6-month-old getting tear gas, and you guys have never heard about it yet.
I think I know what you're talking about, but I
Oh, I
can't
think yeah.
remember
No, I never
whose
mind. I
fault
think
it
I think
was.
I've heard that. Yeah.
Okay, so I will give you from the research that I've done because there was multiple stories done on it, and I'm fair. I do multiple researches. If somebody's wrong, I don't care if they're my mod or ops
Bro,
or
what does
if I,
multiple? Sorry, I was talking to stream
my
out.
own
What does
family. I
multiple
don't care if they're
researches
wrong. I'm
even
gonna call
mean,
them out,
guys? I did
right?
multiple researches
So,
on this thing. Trust
anyways,
me, I know
so
what
I
I'm
did
talking about.
my own
Who says
research on
that?
it. There was multiple stories,
Okay.
but this child was coming. Hold on one second.
Put me in the big screen. I don't know if I can.
Sorry, I have freaking puppies and they're annoying. But
You're
anyways,
good.
the 6-month-old, and her family, they were coming from the grocery store, right? And they turned down the road on their way home, and when they did, protesters were getting out of hand with ICE, and the protesters end up surrounding the person. The mother, the father, and the child's vehicle. ICE did throw tear gas. Do I agree with that? Absolutely not, because they shouldn't be doing that with innocent. They're trained not to do it with the innocent bystanders, right? Well, the canister got underneath the car, underneath the vehicle, and the 6-month-old did get, it came in, and the father did have to, do his thing with her and everything. People were trying to say he was involved in the protesting, but that was debunked. So who's at fault for that? Yes, I just stated I shouldn't have done it with innocent bystanders, but is that okay for protesters? Because it was getting out of hand. Was it okay for them to surround the innocent bystander's vehicle and knowing that they're already rowdy and pissed off ICE? Was that okay in your guys' opinion?
I gotta see like the investigation about that. I'm not. I think it's probably both sides because like you just said, you agree that was a bad move by ICE, but also you feel that it was wrong to surround the car. So like, I think that's honestly it's tough because like a lot of ICE investigations aren't even being like the state can't even investigate them. You know what I mean? With the Minneapolis stuff that went on with Alex Preddy, it's just the State Department. Like
Well,
we can't.
the state can investigate, but like with the Alex Preddy, I haven't made my mind up completely on that one yet. I'm still reaching into it, but do I think 10 times? No, I do think that's a little much. So there's that. But no, and if they do the investigation and they feel that there was too much, that was too much, or because I've seen videos where it's, the firearm goes off and then they say, you see a guy, grab the pew pew, like he walks up, nothing in his hand, he grabs the pew pew. Why didn't he say clear if he was an agent? So it's like, you get where I'm coming from on there. So I do hope there is an investigation and they make this out, and we're able to see the whole thing. You know,
I
so
agree. Yeah, I agree with you.
All right, so
I
let
think
me
there
ask
should
you.
be a fair one.
So you ready for this? So this is you guys. It's fine to do this. Ready? Hold on.
What are we even looking
This
at?
is this is fine. Look at this. Look at this. So you're telling me you would wait? You would wait? Look at this. You watch it?
I thought there'd be more protesters, honestly.
What,
That's
wait, what
just the
There's
happened?
one
only
They
like
just
scenario.
went
20
out
or
into the
30 of
street,
them.
or what happened?
You didn't see them blocking the lights?
Yeah, I would just wait. Yes, I wouldn't just
You
run
didn't
over
see them
people.
intersection so people couldn't get by?
I mean,
Yes,
it's an
I would just wait.
inconvenience,
It's
but
quite
it's
literal.
not
It's illegal to
illegal, I
do that,
feel.
dude. I'm serious. It's literally illegal for you to do that.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Unless you have imminent fear, right, of severe bodily harm or death, then it's illegal.
No, it's not legal to just block off whatever you feel you can
Huh?
block off.
I'm not saying. Wait. Okay. To be clear, the action of blocking off a random highway is illegal. The act of running them over when you don't have any kind of reasonable fear to bodily harm or death is also illegal. More illegal, in fact.
So my question to you is,
I don't like.
so
I'm not. I never. Nowhere here was I justifying the protesters' actions. I was just saying that your actions in response to them would be unjustified.
all right, so
Yeah,
Scratch,
true.
let me ask you a question real quick. When is it legal for protesting in the road?
right.
If you get a permit.
Okay, thank you for that answer. Yes. So if they don't have a permit, then why? Like, they're breaking the law, correct?
Yeah.
So how is that if you're breaking the law while you're protesting, that's not considered a peaceful protest, correct?
No.
I mean, I'm cool with
When
arresting them.
people
Like,
say
I'm
when
cool
people
with
say
arresting them.
like nobody says when people say peaceful, they don't mean non-law breaking, right? When
I'm
people
saying
when
peaceful
wait
because that's
no
what's in the
when
Constitution.
people
That's a
when people
constitutional
during
right.
when people
Is a
during
peaceful
civil rights did
gathering,
sit-ins,
correct?
right? When people during civil rights did sit-ins or did peaceful protests without permits, people still call those peaceful, right?
Yeah, but they get arrested though.
Exactly, they would get
And,
arrested,
you know,
but
so
those
did
were
MLK.
peaceful. Those
You
were
know what I
peaceful
mean?
protests.
You still get arrested. That's a consequence. You get removed.
Mandela did
Yes.
too. I mean, you know.
Exactly. So when people say peaceful protest, doesn't necessarily mean no laws are being broken. It just means people are getting
Because
violent.
Ken, I mean, Ken, there's a big difference between like blocking some dude's car and then like, you know, like beating up ICE agents, right? I mean, even in that video, like, would you say that those two things are the same? Like
What?
stomping on a dude's head versus blocking a bunch of cars? Like, I personally would say one's worse. So like that's what Scratch is trying to say. Because like, yeah, sure, like it's an inconvenience, but is it really that violent? You know what I mean? Like, what do we?
It is violent because what happens? Like I'm just doing, you know. So you're going down the road and a bunch of people decide to illegally protest in the road without the permits, right? And you have an emergency. What the hell are you supposed to do?
Right.
What are you supposed to do? While you have idiots protesting in the road that shouldn't be doing it because they don't have the proper permits, but they decide,
can tell
hey,
them
we're
that
going
you
to
have an
bring our point
emergency
across.
or go a
And
different way.
and it's a life or death situation, and you don't have time to wait for medics or
You're
whatever
not
to
legally
come
allowed
there.
to do that
What do
still,
you do?
because the
What do you
imminent,
do?
The imminent
Why
threat
are
and fear
their
of bodily
lives
harm
more
has to be coming
important than
directly from the
anyone else's
protesters.
that
They
they
can't.
decide to
That's still illegal.
decide to stop?
It's an unfortunate scenario. It's still
Well,
illegal. Just run them over.
I think it's a tough hypothetical to
It's
put
not even
out
a tough.
'cause
No,
it's a
Albert, it's not a
radical.
tough hypothetical. The thing that needs to be like the threat of fear of like bodily harm or death needs to be coming directly from the protesters. It can't be like.
No, I think
another
I think where you guys are failing is when you do decide to protest, when you do decide to impede in certain things, you as a protester need to be accountable for the things that you're doing. So if you believe what you're doing is just fine, but you also have to take accountability for the behavior.
Like it just seems like when you guys say that, it just seems to be like, oh, if you break a law, then like you being executed on the spot is okay. No, it legitimately feels like that's what the host is trying to say.
I mean, I
honestly does.
jaywalk. Like,
you guys are
I go to
jaywalk.
prison.
You jaywalk while protesting?
No, let me
Sometimes I throw my gun on the
You can be run
street.
over, bro.
You know.
Wait, no, Scratch.
That's just not true.
Let me put you a hypothetical. Like right now with the protesters who are doing the stops with people's vehicles, right? What if, like, say for example, you're a protester or whatever, you stop me for my vehicle. What right do you have to stop me?
You don't have a right to stop them.
So why are people doing that, knowing that you don't have a right to do that to another person? You don't
Because
have
they're
the law.
protesting and they want their message to be heard, and part of that is disruption. That's what they're doing.
You can't law.
But how is that a peaceful protest?
Don't
when
we
you're
have the
doing it
right to
illegally?
protest? Isn't that like
Oh my gosh.
legal?
Okay,
Like we can
yes.
protest?
Okay, you can protest, but if you are blocking roadways, you have to have a permit. So if you're blocking roadways and do not have a permit, that is not a peaceful protest.
That is a wait. Okay, wait. No, I just want to ask: were sit-ins as a protest during the MLK during civil rights movement? Was that peaceful?
I mean,
Was what Rosa Parks did a peaceful protest? No. I want these questions answered. I want these questions
answered.
answered.
Question in 1 second. This is a wicked quick thing. So this is all right to do. Hold on. Let's just do talk. I'm not going to turn the volume on. Don't need to. That's cool. Look at that. Look at that.
There's not that many.
Oh my gosh. Are we
it's
serious?
not about many. Hold on.
I feel like we're
YouTube chat. You
overblowing
can't see
this.
it, but he's
Hold on,
showing a
hold on.
video of a line
look at
of
that.
literally of
Look at
people,
that. That's
a
right.
single
That's right.
single line,
Yeah, but
very
Ma,
thin,
what we're
blocking a
saying is
road.
like if you're saying you want to run over these people, then I think the January 6 cops had the right to mow down the entire MAGA clan. I
No,
think
they,
if you're saying
Oliver.
they should deserve to die for that, I'm cool with if we just destroyed everyone in the like all the MAGA Gen 6 protesters, put them to death. You know what I mean? Because they were blocking shit too.
TikTok fucking language.
I want them. I want this question. I want this question. I want this question answered. Were sit-ins? Wait, no. Were sit-ins during the civil rights movement? Were they violent protests?
What do you mean? Everybody, when Martin Luther King was doing his protest, they didn't block roadways.
Yes, they
And
did.
The roadways.
They did. They
Hold
literally
on,
marched in the road. They literally
Jesus
marched in the
Christ.
road to Montgomery. What are you talking about?
Birmingham.
Birmingham.
But
Sorry.
they also made sure that they planned when they did protest, they planned and knew people were gonna get arrested. This
Yeah,
is all
but
under-
were
all
those the question?
understanding.
That's not what we're asking. The question is, were those protests peaceful?
Yes, they were. They were just walking down the
Okay,
road.
so I'm glad you can literally walk in the Montgomery. Birmingham.
yeah.
Sorry, I keep mixing up. Sorry, the Birmingham March, where they're literally blocking the road by marching down it. Right? That's a peaceful protest, even though they're breaking the law. Same with the sit-ins. Sit-ins were peaceful forms of protest, even though they're
sit-ins.
breaking the law. So breaking the law does not necessitate that is a violent protest. Those are peaceful ways of protesting.
Hitting an officer with a shovel over his head. Peaceful
Nobody was talking about that.
I'm asking,
Yeah, we
I'm
weren't-
asking you a
we
question.
weren't
though. I'm
talking
asking
about
you a
that.
question. I'm just asking you a question.
And he didn't say that like all of the things going on are peaceful. Like
I'm
we
not
agree
saying-
that
I'm not saying
like we
it's not
agree bad
peaceful
stuff
or not,
happens
but
on both sides.
You can't compare you can't compare back then to what's going on now.
I mean, they're both blocking the road. You know what I mean? Like they're both doing illegal things, but they're not causing any kind of violence. It's like the jaywalking example. You know, if I really hate jaywalking, I'm just gonna do it every day till I get
Yeah, but-
arrested until they
but-
change the law.
Yeah, but you're talking about peaceful protest, and what Scratch brought up about as far as what they were doing. Yes, that's peaceful. They're walking, they're singing, all that stuff. Now you have people out here playing cops, stopping people.
No, what we were
How is that
talking
different?
about is no. The conversation, the concept of conversation is merely surrounding somebody's car or blocking a road. Is that violent? And I said no, that isn't. It would only be violent if they were like banging on the car or trying to like reach in
Trying
and
to get
grab
in.
you,
Well, I saw
or
a lady
pointing
telling-
some kind of like pew pew at you.
Well, I saw a woman sitting here saying, "Hey, I don't feel comfortable." This was in the Seattle protest, and she was asking people to move, and no one did not want to move for her. Just so
Well,
she
I mean,
can get back out.
you can't
can't
make
just run
everyone
people
do
over.
what you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
right,
running
right,
people
right.
over is not the answer. That
This
is not
isn't
the
mad.
answer.
Like
That's
you
gonna
can't
make
just be-
everything worse.
Can't go Mad Max style during a protest again.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I'm not
You
saying
can't,
you
you
don't
can't
go
just
mad.
get up
I'm
your kill
saying you-
streaks.
I'm saying-
What if your daughter is cut a vein and you're trying to get your daughter to the hospital?
Still
I
illegal.
mean, bro,
You've
that's
got a
a
bunch of
whole
fucking
fucking
morons in the street.
Still illegal.
Yeah, with
Scratch
J6
makes some kind
pussies,
of
right?
excuse off, so it doesn't matter
J6 pussies
if it's
were
an
okay, though.
emergency or
They
whatever.
both
It
they
doesn't
both block
matter.
the street, so it could be a
J6
situation for
pussies, right?
bro. What?
We got
What'd
a
you say?
boomer.
What'd you say, Trump?
Trumpstein. Welcome.
Isn't it past your bedtime, dog?
Don't forget your medicine.
True.
Who are you talking to?
Fucking pedo
Lock
lover.
this with that.
You're done.
God.
You're done.
I'm talking to that guy.
He's gone. No.
I think
talking
blocking
anymore.
roads is a type of non-violence right now. You know what?
So you want to
Fucking
compare a
priceless.
march to blocking a road is completely the same? Are you
Yes,
insane?
you're doing
A
both.
march?
When you march down a road, you're
No.
blocking it too.
No one's being hurt.
Yes, but when
To do a march,
so
you have
if
to get a
they
permit.
if it is a legal protest, they would have the permit. Marching, they will have permits. If they have permits to do it, it's fine. But if they're doing it without their permits, it's not fine. That's not a peaceful protest.
No one's getting hurt. You
But
know what I
you're
mean?
missing the
But people are
it's
getting hurt though.
not peaceful.
I mean,
Like,
you're bringing up like two
how is
examples.
it okay? No, seriously. How is it okay to sit there like I said? I'm all yeah, Mario. I gotta mute you. All right, there we go. But how is it okay to surround or stop people that don't want to have the same, that may not have the same views of you? That's just like, oh, hey, you either get out and protest with us or you don't. You're either with us or you're against us. Like, that's basically forcing people to pick, is it not?
It's a protest. That's what protests can do. That's always happened since there've been protests. And
there's
even if it's not,
counter-protests.
even if it's not
run around bullying
a
people.
legal
That's the
paper
dumbest
to be
shit
on the
I've ever
street,
heard.
there's always been protests. Whenever the American people
I
don't like
understand
anything, there's
that there's
protests.
protests. I don't care that people want to protest. My issue is when they're getting in the road and they're not supposed to be there.
They're
Because
bullying.
if they get the permit,
That's to make
if they
a
get
scene,
the
you know?
would you stop for a minute? If they have the permit, do you know what that permit's going to do?
Wait, are you saying-
explain how the permit's going to work, the truth.
Are you saying
I understand the point of a permit, but they probably don't do it with the permit because
okay, if they have answer the question. If they
Yeah,
have a
permit would be
permit,
cool.
how
Yeah, so I'm
what's
looking,
that
the
permit
first-
good for?
The first two, sorry,
rerouting traffic, I
the
guess.
first,
I don't
the
know.
first two,
Yes,
the
they're
first
gonna,
two
the
marches.
the police department is going to come there and block roads. Hence, when they do, somebody wanted to bring up marches. Hence, they have a permit to
They
do
didn't have
marches.
permits.
What do they do?
They didn't have permits.
Martin
When
Luther
there's
King definitely
parades,
They didn't
when
have
there is
permits.
parades, what do they do?
Well,
Fly
I
high.
don't think they
Block the
have
roads.
permits either
Fly,
when
fly
they
high.
stop
During,
people on
wait,
the road. I
during,
think
sorry,
they just do
during
it.
during the first, sorry,
Do
the
Do you
first
guys
two,
even want to have a
the
conversation?
first two
or you
marches
just
that
wanna
wait,
talk
no,
and
no, no, the
talk,
first
like-
two marches, the first two marches MLK, they didn't have permits. Were they
You think you
non-violent?
can get a permit in Montgomery? You think
That was for the
NYPD would give
for
him
the
a
last
permit?
march. For the last march, they did.
Hold
For the
on,
first two, they didn't.
hold on. You know Martin Luther King when he rallied and marched down a street, they knew that it was happening. He told them it was gonna happen. They didn't
And
care.
he didn't have permits for the first
They-
two marches. According to you, that's
All
a violent
right, prime
protest.
example. We have somebody that lives in Florida, and they just verified what Mario said. Because in Florida, it is legal if you feel threatened to keep driving. My town, the protest people for George Floyd was giving water to the police. So it is you can hit a civilian if they are in the road and your life feels threatened.
Like we already
can't
said this.
tell-
Yes, everybody can see this already.
Yeah,
Can I make a
so
point?
you
Can I
can't,
say
you
Nobody,
can't
something?
tell.
nobody.
Like you were saying earlier, is you can't tell me when my life feels threatened. If somebody surrounds my vehicle or stops me from
Yes, you
doing what I
can.
need to do, especially with my children involved, guess what? I feel
That's
for
not,
their
you know,
safety.
that's not how courts
So
work.
that's my right.
What a court does, no, what a court does is say, would a reasonable person.
So that's my right.
You got to get a good
What a
lawyer.
court does,
though.
no.
That's
What
the
a
only
court does
thing.
is say, would. Oh my God, they kicked me, y'all.
in conversation. I'm sorry. I'm done. I'm done. When the host is talking, this is what you're supposed to do. Be quiet.
Oh, they kicked me. They got mad.
Compare, even if it's a federal agent. Well, no one's gonna care.
Never mind. So we have to find another one now. We have to find another live, y'all. Oh, we got one. What's up, y'all? Hello? Wait, give me a second. Hello?
Are you and your twin in the same room?
No. Why asking? He lives in a complete...
Because usually you guys are together.
No, we aren't.
So, what do you want to talk about today, Scratch?
We say I stand with ICE. I just don't currently right now. I think they're violating the 4th Amendment and 5th Amendment. I don't think that's very good. I don't think they should do that. I think we should protest
Fantastic.
and do something.
Can you provide an example of them violating the 4th Amendment?
Yeah, how?
Yeah, a good example would be the arrest of Maleo, in the court cases Maleo v. DHS. where he was here on TPS, temporary protective status, and then ICE arrested him without a warrant, only with reasonable suspicion. When to make warrantless arrests, you need probable cause.
You don't need probable cause. You only need reasonable suspicion to make a detainment.
Yes, thank you.
You can make a temporary stop of somebody. According to Supreme Court, you can temporarily stop somebody with only reasonable suspicion. But to then make it,
Scratch. I want you to Google this for me because I know you're in front of your computer. Type in, can ICE detain you? Can federal law enforcement detain you for up to 72 hours?
On reasonable,
with probable cause, yes.
Suspicion.
No. It's reasonable suspicion. This has already been argued at the Supreme Court.
Jesus Christ.
Do you want to bring up a Supreme Court ruling?
Scratch. I got a question. Do you believe reasonable suspicion and shit? Damn it! Hey, I lost my train of thought too. Yeah. Do you think those are the same thing? Do you think probable cause and reasonable suspicion are the same thing? Okay,
probable cause.
So stop. Can you be detained for 72 hours based on reasonable suspicion?
No. According to the Supreme Court. According to the Supreme Court, you can only make brief stops with it. I'll read from the Supreme Court. This is from Noam v. Vesco Verdone. This is the 2025 one that was looking at using like racial profiling to build reasonable suspicion, and it directly says, importantly, reasonable suspicion means only that immigration officers may briefly stop the individual and inquire about their immigration status. So the Supreme Court has even said this, and this is in recent Supreme Court ruling. This is in 2025.
Okay.
So 2025, you can only use reasonable suspicion to make a brief stop.
Stop. Now, if they can't prove who they are during that stop, can they detain you beyond that?
Because that would build probable cause, right? So you could use the reasonable suspicion. You could use the reasonable suspicion to briefly stop them and use it to build probable cause to arrest them.
Your own fucking question. You literally just answered your own fucking question. You troglodyte.
No, you can't use probable. You can't use reasonable suspicion alone.
Yes, they can. Listen. You just answered your own question. So they stop him on reasonable suspicion to find out who he is and if he's in the country illegally. Once he fails to provide to ICE what his name is or any kind of documentation, because Scratch, I know this is going to come as a surprise to you, but I want you to go look this up for me. Do people in the United States on temporary protective status or visas or green cards have to carry their papers on their
Melania was carrying his papers
everywhere they go?
He was carrying his papers, and he was later released.
Okay.
And he said he was on TPS in the ICE. Wait, give me a second. And the ICE officer.
Stop.
And the ICE officer said, "I don't care."
You're answering your own question again. You're answering your own question again. He said, "I'm here."
No, he was
on
carrying his
temporary
papers
protective status
too.
You just said, "Oh my God, Mike!" What did he say?
I said both. I said he said it and he had his papers. And to be clear, here, let me read this quote. Wait. I just let you go. I'm going to finish my
Did he have
statement.
his papers?
So wait. I need to ask you. Can you make an arrest solely on the basis of reasonable suspicion? Yes or no?
Papers?
Can you make an arrest? I know. I need you to answer this question, and I'll answer yours. Okay? Can you make an arrest solely on reasonable suspicion alone? Yes or no?
You can make a detainment on it.
Can you make an arrest solely on reasonable suspicion and alone? Yes or no?
No. We said detainment. We're not
I'm talking about the
arrest.
question was arrest. I didn't say detainment. Can you make an arrest solely on reasonable suspicion alone?
Detainment is 72 hours.
Can you make an arrest solely on reasonable suspicion alone?
Can you detain someone?
Can you make it? I'm going to ask the question one more time. So this is dodge number one. Okay. Can you make an arrest solely on reasonable suspicion alone?
Listen,
you aren't answering the question. No, it's real. I get it's really hard to answer these questions.
No, dummy.
Answer the question. No, it's
not.
really hard. Oh my God.
There is.
The status is already established. You cannot hold you, even if they don't know. These buffoons are getting to argue. Look at Michael Jackson. Gotcha. So you don't have a point. You just want to argue. See, when he has nothing else to say and he starts to attack, lol. Y'all are focusing. No, this is not semantics. A young fella needs to go to law school. You're killing him with logic. What? Why are you yelling? You must feel threatened. You can detain on suspicion. When they say detain, they mean the brief stops. I'll read the court case again. Importantly, reasonable suspicion only means immigration officers may briefly stop the individual and inquire about their status, right? When they say detain up to 72 hours, they're talking about arrests, right? That's an arrest. And to do that, you need probable cause. The Supreme Court literally said, and I'm reading the recent case, you can only use that to make short temporary stops, inquire about status. The person I'm talking about was on TPS, had their papers with them, and they, regardless of that, they still detained him. They still arrested him anyways. And I'll read this quote. This is from Greg Bovino, right? This is from the commander at large at these ICE operations that have been going on. We need reasonable suspicion to make an arrest. You notice I did not say probable cause, nor did I say I need a warrant. We need reasonable suspicion of illegal alienage, and that's well grounded within the United States immigration law. That is, the last part he said was incorrect, but Greg Bovino is literally saying they're using only reasonable suspicion to make these arrests. That's why when I asked them the question, can you use reasonable suspicion alone to make an arrest, they would not answer, because they know they would have to say, no, you can't, and then I would just bring up the quote, and they'd be wrong. Okay. And that's why they kicked me from the live, too, guys. I got kicked. I didn't leave. No, I was saying Scratch was killing the dude with logic. Oh, I'm saying you need to go to... I've never heard someone as young as you making such well articulated arguments on my side. Oh, thanks, dude. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Oh, Scratch. Ask Scratch. Oh, I disagree with you about the nonviolence incidents and walking in the street. Oh, okay. I'm pointing out you resort to complaining about my yelling and then actually making a sound argument of your own because you're pathetic. It says the right things to, or else you're stupid. Why I deserve respect? Yes, I do. It's a debate. They have probable cause to arrest if they believe the person is likely to escape before a warrant can be obtained. True. Good point. Don't cheap. I remember you, dude. Things are coming back in. Okay, let's see if we can find another person to debate. Here, I'm gonna disconnect my TikTok audio because it's actually oppressive. I think we're gonna go close up here. I think I'm gonna start recording too, potentially. I just like that's not something I want to record. Just not a good debate. Jews and Christians are the same. Not providing proof gives probable cause for longer detainment. Yes, but the problem is they didn't have probable cause. The person was giving their papers. I keep saying that they didn't have probable cause. They only had reasonable suspicion. And then I gave you the quote. So, and you can't use reasonable suspicion solely to do an arrest. You need probable cause. Holy shit, 7 people are requesting up in this live. Let's see if I get up. I doubt it. So papers absolve probable cause law. Papers can be fake. Be fake, correct? Unless the officer thinks they're fake, then no. Like at this point, if you're saying anything could be fake, then then officer could just arrest anybody, and then use that as an excuse. Oh, there was a citizen here, and he showed me their birth certificate, their passport, and their state ID. But actually, they're an illegal because I think all these things are fake, so therefore I have probable cause. That would not be held up in court. Because then that would literally just broad justification for anybody to be arrested, because they can then just use that excuse. So, for example, is smelling like pot reasonable suspicion or a probable cause? Yeah, smoking pot would be reasonable suspicion because that would be like an articulable fact that you could use. That's why there is a detainment for an investigation, which is lawful. When you say detainment, I think you're talking about the brief stops. What ICE can do is they can't stop you for 72 hours. They can briefly stop you, right? Briefly, as the Supreme Court said, when they have reasonable suspicion. They can inquire about your status. And if they can't build probable cause from that, then they have to let you go. If that's what you mean by detainment, yes. That's the only thing you can do. Scratch, I'll debate you. Are you in the Discord? I guess you can. Like, if you want to make some legal case for like what violence is, maybe. I don't know. When people say nonviolent protests, like colloquially, they're gonna point to MLK, and I think the understanding is like even if those are not permits, they're gonna say, okay, well those were still nonviolent. Like the term nonviolent doesn't like reference to some form of legality. Abortion is an unforgivable crime, Jesus. I support and defend ICE. Was this the panel I was just on? I might be going insane here. That's indefinitely. That's due. HSS passed during the HSA passed during the Bush. You have no clue. Young Skywalker, bro. They need probable cause to hold you. It's not indefinitely. Okay, we're on a panel though, so I'm not gonna be talking anymore.
Voted for, please. Scratch.
Yo,
Your age and who you voted for?
18, didn't vote. Too young.
18, 21 over a panel, and you didn't vote.
Oh shit, ageism. Damn. See ya.
For panel.
Here's what it is. Like I can read the Supreme Court ruling one more time. Unfortunately, reasonable suspicion only means that immigration officers may briefly stop an individual and inquire about their immigration status. Like I don't know what I like. Do I need to? I don't know what I need to do for y'all. Yeah, let me go to ICE. No superhero would support ICE. I feel like it's just gonna be all things against ICE. I don't know. Rage bait. So is a violent protest legal? No. I guess like when a protest as a whole, if there's like a protest that got permits and then it became violent, I guess like most of protests is legal. I don't know. I'd probably say no. I'd say a violent protest isn't legal. The Patriot Act, read it. It's part of Bush's HSA law. We're talking about ICE, bro. Are we serious? Holy shit, we're talking about what ICE can do. Not what the FBI or like US Marshals. Actual like regarded people. Like, do y'all seriously not understand? Like, authority is different. Hilarious that they keep calling the protests not violent when the only violence of the protests is again the protesters' law. True. What's up, Tron?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. So, hold on. I think I have you playing in the background. All right. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
All right. Oh, one thing you should look at is, do you know what a Terry stop is?
Yeah, it's like it's the reasonable suspicion I was talking about. You can briefly stop somebody to like acquire them, pat them down, whatever.
Yeah, the original Terry stop was, I believe it was somebody named Terry, and
Yeah, was it Terry v something?
yeah, if they're Terry v. United States or Delaware or whatever. But basically, the cop saw somebody looking suspicious standing outside of a jewelry store that had a history of being robbed. And based on the totality of the circumstances, he patted him down and found burglar equipment. You know. Oh yeah, but just logically, if people just think about it for 2 seconds, if you're standing outside of a jewelry store, you wouldn't want 2 days of your life taken from you because a cop thinks you look funny. You know? Like
Okay.
that would destroy your life. You could lose your job. It would be horrible. Oh yeah, but that's just like the basic framework that like they think reasonable suspicion's enough, then hopefully a cop doesn't look at you funny and you lose however many days of your life.
Well, I think half the problem with the argument is that like the word detain has just been like fucked. Like people sometimes will like use the word detain to actually mean arrest, or sometimes they'll use the word detain for like a brief stop. And so like I feel like in half these arguments they'll be say, oh, like the DHS can detain somebody for up to 72 hours. When in that case, detain means arrest.
Yeah, I think maybe you should try to push people to use the terminology Terry stop versus arrest. Because detain just means to restrain somebody, you know? Where a Terry stop has a very specific definition.
Well, detain falls under arrest. In the INA, you need probable cause to like to actually detain somebody, to just stop them.
Well,
reasonable suspicion.
I think detainment though also kind of can happen anytime you're not free to leave. So a Terry stop is a type of detainment. All it means is you're not free to leave.
Okay, so you're gonna say detain. Okay, so detain just falls under. So arrest, Terry stop, all of that. Being in jail falls under detain.
Yeah, that's all detainment.
Okay.
And a Terry stop.
I feel like I was reading in the INA like they used it in a very specific way. I might be wrong.
Well, and a Terry stop has a very specific parameters. It can't last for like an extreme amount of time. Like there's even arguments that like cops can't call in drug sniffing dogs if they think there's drugs in a car. If it's over a certain amount of hours, then that stops being a Terry stop and turns into a de facto arrest.
Yeah, it says on a warrant issued by the Attorney General, an alien may be arrested and detained pending decision on whether the alien is removed from the.
Yeah.
It says like arrested it says arrested and detained. I feel like when like
yeah.
I feel like when they say detained in the INA, they're specifically talking about after the arrest, like putting them into like a detention center, like that. At that point, they're detained.
Yeah.
But then again, like I feel maybe in state law, it's like
they should all follow the same general rules, but they might use different words.
Yeah, it's all like detained versus arrest might be slightly different, but it's all gonna follow the same rules.
Yeah, I could do some Googling and send you some links later. But I'm fairly fairly certain about my memory. Real quick. Civil rights. Sit-in. So imagine I own a butcher shop and a whole bunch of vegans walk into my butcher shop and then sit on the ground, and like people can't walk into my business. That's a type of violence.
Okay, how?
How? Because they're preventing me from making a living because they're trespassing on my property without my permission.
Yeah, I don't think that's fun.
You don't think that's violent? I don't think it's like kicking and hitting, but it's a type of
Violence behavior, like unequivocal
of-
definition now.
say what?
If you ask the average person, were sit-ins in the rights movement nonviolent protest, they'd say yes, because like when somebody has violence,
And I would say
they
yes
mean
to
they
that
usually
too.
mean like some like. Here, what's a Google
So
definition?
they were violent, nonviolent protests.
No,
So-
they just weren't violent. Behavior
No, I'm
involving
saying-
physical intent, hurt, damage, or kill somebody, something or someone or something.
Yes, you're hurting somebody's business.
When they mean hurt, they mean physically though.
All right. What I was trying to say is, oh yeah, the civil rights, they were nonviolent. Like they subscribed to nonviolence as a philosophy. They were disruptive, and they would do like disruptive.
Okay, they would do
violent actions,
sit-ins.
like sit-ins, walking through streets, or low grades of violence, I would say. But they adhered to the principles of nonviolence.
Like I guess if you wanna, I'm not gonna ever get that technical though. I that's just not like a. I think that's a good way to like try and communicate with people about like what protests like you think are allowable depending on the severity of like the injustice you think is going on. Like when people say nonviolent protest, people understand it to mean like physical harm or like damaging or trying to like hurt somebody. That's what they mean by violent.
Yeah. Oh, a fun little fact. I don't know if you called this out, but January 6th, they did not have a permit to march on the Capitol.
Yes.
Yeah. And the
As
Trump
understand.
committed a.
Well, I just think it's like Mega does this thing all the time. Like you'd be like, okay, well, I don't think what the protesters were doing was justified, right? Just I don't think like standing in the middle of highways. I think is just regarded. Sorry, I don't take that retarded.
Yeah.
I think it's retarded. I don't think people should be doing that. But and then it would be like, and I'm like, okay, but that doesn't justify that a person like killing them. And it would be like, well, they're illegally, right? They're like, yeah, they're not supposed to be. They shouldn't do that, right? Yeah. So I feel in their head they're just like justifying it, but they're like they won't openly say that.
Yeah, that's bullshit. And that's also just vigilante justice.
Don't need a permit to express a right.
I feel like there was one more thing I was going to point out. Permits, rights, marching. Oh yeah, the Canadian highway siege. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that did massive economic harm. A lot of people were hurt by that, like financially. It hurt the whole Canadian government, their whole.
I still call that nonviolent.
Say again?
I would still call that nonviolent.
No.
Like if they just did a boycott
think-
instead of the highway siege, the effect would be about the same too.
I don't know.
I feel like
So okay.
here I got a new one. When
Okay,
radical
I'm gonna create a
domestic
good
terrorists hate law enforcement. Let's see how good this one is.
All right, something.
Okay. Oh, I'm getting up.
Can I spend time with you?
Me right now or what?
Oh no, I'm good.
Scratch.
Have a good one.
Come off mute, bud.
What's up? What's up?
Age, state, and who'd you vote for?
Age, state.
Age 18, state Wisconsin. I was too young to vote at the time. What's up?
So, okay.
I would have voted for Kamala Harris if you're wondering.
Okay. Because she was going to get you a free house, right?
Oh yeah. Yep.
No, she wouldn't have got you a free house. Your parents probably already bought a house, or your grandparents, or somebody down your family already bought a house. You weren't qualified for that. You didn't read the fine print.
I was joking. She went probably got me a house. I mean, college right now. I don't think I was.
So
I'm not.
can
I
I
wasn't
ask you
thinking
what
of housing opportunity. Well, by
let
the
me
time
ask
I
you
was
what
thinking of housing opportunities,
policies
Kamala
did you
Harris would have
like?
been out of office.
What
What?
policy did you like of hers?
Policy wise?
I just don't think he needs to be up here. He's
Yeah,
too
I think
young.
for policy wise, I think her Central America 4 project is pretty good. If we're talking
For
green. Policy wise, I think her Central America 4.
Yeah, he needs to go.
Help me,
Holy
Rob.
shit! Let's try
Shit, I
another
don't
one,
need no
y'all.
chilies, man. I need fucking 2 fireworks with a gift gallery. Help. Where's outrage? Get my fucking bags packed. This motherfucker.
Let's try another panel, y'all.
Who's up in here? Hey, Scratch, what did I tell you, man? I told you that if you wanna battle me, you need to go live and
Traditions of fucking battle this dude.
Israel pre. But that might happen come July.
I'm just not going to battle this dude.
For like a week.
Battling is so cringe. I'm not even gonna explain it to y'all. Like, I don't even feel like explaining this shit. It's so bad. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see. Let's see how this one works out.
Disprove or prove that. I don't know.
What do you mean?
He's a smart guy, though. I saw that interview, and it's like, fuck, bro. This guy knows how to talk.
What's up, y'all? How we doing?
How
Hey,
are the
man.
Epstein files not real?
Because you said so,
they're
bitch.
AI
Sorry.
generated.
What is this? What is
How are
this
they AI
live?
generated?
Yeah, so what they did is they said ChatGPT generate fake email prompts. They generated 3 million of them and then put them on the website for people to access.
Because the government would want to make themselves look bad.
Yeah, how would they just randomly get 3 million files? That makes no sense. It's obviously made up. And if you go into the files,
This is
you
a
can find
troll.
stuff that's made in
This is a
2024.
troll.
It's obviously
This is a
fake.
troll.
Why do you think? Why? Shut the
So
fuck up,
shot.
Scratch. Obviously fake.
This is
Why
a
do you think?
troll.
He
There's no
lived
shot
like a
that dude
really
was not
interesting
being
life.
serious. That
He was
dude
a
was not
weirdo.
being
Don't get me
serious.
wrong.
There's no shot. See, you're just to argue. What? Somebody saying that the Epstein files that the government released were made up in ChatGPT? Like, he's trolling. It's so obvious. Like, do I have to spell it? Wait, is this a mother panel? Oh shit, I did not mean to request that. Never mind. We're gonna steer clear of that real quick. So there's certain people I'm not trying to debate on here. As in, they will mute me and kick me and will not allow me to have a opportunity to respond to what they're saying. How's it even a debate? Protest equals fine. Violent protest equals bad. True. Violence is bad. People try and be violent. I don't remember. So this. So that's block and it's a road. Do you need a permit to So that's blocking a road. Do you need a permit to protest was the question. So that's to block traffic. Yeah, you need a permit to protest. If you're doing it in a road though. Like if you're just going to like a public park, you don't need a permit. But yeah. You should get a permit though, even if you're just going to a public park. You should inform the government of what you're doing generally, and hopefully you can actually get police protection for the protest that's going on. That's even better. Blocking the road isn't a protest. What do you think a protest is? Like, do you have a protest constitutes an instance of civil resistance or nonviolent resistance. Wow. Or civil resisting. That's a protest. Protests are nonviolent, not illegal. The left literally can't even define a woman. A woman is somebody who has a complete and total identitarian commitment to traits typically associated with females. A complete and total identitarian commitment to social constructs associated with females. That's what a woman is. I protest your afro. Bro, what's wrong with the fro? Wait, why are you hating on the fro? What did the fro do? What did the fro do, bro? What did the fro do to anybody? Or why are we protesting? Are we protesting the fro? Woman's adult human female. Y'all asked me to define it. Free Diddy. True. Free my nigga Diddy. He didn't do nothing wrong. He did his time. He did his time. Free him. Free my brother Diddy. He got locked up. Don't worry. What are you talking about, Wills? True. Oh my gosh. Oh my god, the truth is going live. Oh no. I almost feel like debating him. What are you talking about, Wills? What are you talking about, Wills? Mm-hmm. The Gauntlet, 5 p.m. Tune in, queue up. I don't know what this is about. There's something called the Gauntlet. Let's see if we can get into this. It feels like you have a lot here just for the sake of arguing. Lol, I swear this is just common sense. Bro, you're defeating your own argument. A woman is an adult human female. That's why blocking a road needs a permit. Protesting doesn't need a permit. If you want to protest in the road, you need a permit. Yes, permits. Sorry, to protest, right, doesn't necessarily require a permit. To protest in the road does require a permit. Can we understand that? Like, gosh. No, I'm not saying you need a permit to protest. I'm saying that you need a permit to protest on the road. I like your afro, young brother. Let's go. Is my face less lit right now? I feel like it is. Oh shit, I'm connected. Give me a sec. Oh shit.
The snow takes the sound, the clouds take the sound, and then the environment around you already dampens everything. So when you're walking, everything is kind of. So imagine yourself when you take a step and it's like a bubble of sound that comes off your footstep, right? But it would like come out from
I don't
under
know
your
what we're
shoe.
listening to.
Sounds
Chat.
like a liquid. It's the best way I can describe it. And when you get into like the physics of it and shit,
Exactly.
it will go into
That's
the
what I was
snow,
arguing the entire time, dumbass.
and then it will like disperse with the snow. It's really cool when you watch like the Tron graphs.
When did you catch
I like
TPS?
sound stuff.
I don't know, when did you, bro? Trump dick sucking syndrome? We do it all the time.
Physics is my worst subject. That
Well, I
just
mean,
didn't-
the guys, they can't hear me. I'm just talking.
I don't understand any. Well, I'm not gonna say I don't understand it because like I get it, but the way they word things and like it could be so much simpler, but the way they want to put it forth is
You
not.
talking about fluid dynamics and sound? Yeah, I don't know
but with
why.
sound,
Don't ask me.
I don't know. I just had an anchoring for it, I guess.
So I
Looked
think
in-
everybody
sound
knows that
affects
I'm.
everything.
I'm a
Sorry, go ahead. I
daycare
was
teacher.
yeah.
Supposed to be a
No, you're
political
okay.
panel.
And we were having a lot of trouble with the kids at nap time. Like there were kids that just wouldn't go to sleep. They would not take a nap. And then I learned that 540 hertz is like a really
Mm-hmm.
good level. So I found a black screen piano rain, no ads, 540 hertz lullaby. That's what you hear every time I'm actually at work and like you hear the background noise.
What are
That
we
is what
talking
it
about? It's
is.
supposed to
And
be a
I have
debate
like
panel.
those kids have
So
not
we just
slept.
running psyops on the kids now, huh? Okay.
Hell yeah, man. At least I'm not
We're
putting
gonna get back into
freaking
politics
melatonin
here
stickers.
shortly. Yeah, that's
MK
true.
At least I'm
Ultra.
not putting
All right,
melatonin
guys.
stickers
What's up,
on the
y'all?
Oh,
kids.
don't say that. Come on, Salt. What's up, Scratch? How are you? Guys, let's go
Sorry.
ahead and dig into the news here. Let's talk about some politics. Let's dive into it. We're just going to skip the gauntlet tonight. We'll do it tomorrow.
Gosh darn
Oh,
it.
what's the
But we
gauntlet
will do the
about?
war room at 7:30. The gauntlet. That's our 1v1s. Everybody gets 2 minutes each. 1 minute follow-up question. And then it's community vote on who has the better stance. Not a right versus left thing. It's just right side versus left side because of the panel. But yeah, it could be too left, could be too right, could be an independent right. But whoever has the best stance, community votes on it, and it goes from there. Take a look at there.
We're gonna skip over that, y'all. Sorry about that. You can hear my phone audio. We're gonna mute that real quick. Was I on this guy's panel just like a little bit ago? I might be going insane. I'm gonna request up. I don't know. I legit forgot.
What causes this right versus left thing? I think Democrats are wrong, and I think you guys are wrong for arguing for MAGA. I think that both of you are in the same boat. You're two sides of the exact same coin because you take in information that confirms your bias.
No, I don't think so. Okay, hey Scratch, how are you doing,
That's
buddy?
your opinion, as you told
Doing
me earlier.
good. I'm doing good.
So Scratch, we've talked before. What's your opinion?
My opinion on ICE is that's pretty shitty institution right now, you know. Like,
Why is it shitty?
I respect the Constitution. I especially respect things like our people's Fourth Amendment rights. I think Trump and ICE are violating those when they are doing warrantless arrests only on the basis of reasonable suspicion. When to make an arrest, you need probable cause. And I'm talking about warrantless arrests.
I heard this
I
earlier, Scratch, and I wanted to talk to you about this.
How are they warrantless?
Yeah, that's a good question.
No due process.
So, Travel, hang on real quick. So let's just
That has
establish.
nothing to do with a warrant.
That's exactly right. So
Processing.
let's establish what the Constitution and who the Constitution is for.
Well, can I ask you a question before you
The
tell me this? Because I
Constitution
know
is
where
for
you're going.
people
Let me ask you
within
something real
U.S.
quick.
jurisdiction.
Hang on a minute, Scratch.
No, sir.
Why was it
For
if
people.
undocumented people in the United States do not get due process, why then did Marco Rubio go live on TV after we kidnapped the president of Venezuela and say that they read him his rights? Why did they read him his
I'm not talking
American
about
Miranda
due
rights
process. Due
in
process.
Venezuela?
Due process of the Fifth and 14th Amendment. I'm talking about the
So,
Fourth.
Right.
So-
due process
so
means
Travel-
that they get a fair hearing.
Wrong
They get a
one.
fair trial.
Wrong one.
Yeah, so that due
That's not true,
process, even if you wanted to try to use it underneath the Constitution, it's not the same for illegal immigrants. Sorry.
Why
I'm not
did
talking
we
about
read
due
the
process,
rights?
though. You guys
Why
are.
did
I
we
never
read
said
the
due
Miranda
process.
rights?
Due process of the Fifth
Why do you
and 14th
so Scratch,
Amendment. I'm
just
talking
because
about
you
the
think
Fourth.
that you're right doesn't mean you're right.
Due process of the Fifth and 14th Amendment. I'm talking about the Fourth.
So right, so again, why
It
would
doesn't
you
say that
think
it's
the
specific to
illegal
U.S.
immigrant hang
citizens.
on, one at a time, goddammit. Scratch, why do you think the illegal immigrants get constitutional amendment rights?
They get a limited version of them. The reason is this because our
Yeah,
founding
so where
fathers
does it
believed.
say that?
The reason it doesn't say that. It just says people.
Well, that's my point.
It doesn't
So
say
it
U.S.
says we
citizens.
the
It doesn't say.
people
It
of the
doesn't say
United
citizens
States. It
either.
doesn't say we the people. Yes, it does.
Really? So if I went to
We
the
the
First Amendment
people
right now, it
of
would
the
say
United States to form a more perfect union. Listen, I know that reading might be difficult, but I'm trying to help you. So again, I guess that's my problem here.
That's the.
It's okay that you think that, and that's your opinion, but it's not the truth.
That's a prelude. That's not
So
even
where does the
actual.
law
That's
come
not the
from?
actual concept.
Yes, the preamble of the
Preamble,
Constitution.
yeah.
It tells you who the Constitution is for. Just like a law in North Carolina, if you have your windshield wipers on, your headlights are on, but it's not
hang
the
on.
same
If
way
we're
in
gonna
North
go,
Carolina.
This is like
hold on, scratch.
Can I finish?
I'm not
doing this red versus blue
Can I
fight.
finish?
You're only
No, it's
freeing
okay.
your choices done.
Can I
I'll
finish?
see you.
Okay.
It's all right.
I'm the only op on here, so hopefully I can
Scratch,
finish.
real quick.
Never mind.
The Fourth Amendment doesn't apply in this because even if they didn't have a warrant, they don't need a warrant.
Yeah, I said they don't need a
You
warrant.
want-
They need probable cause, and they're only using reasonable suspicion. I literally said that.
So Scratch, that's again your opinion.
It's not my opinion. That's what the Supreme Court. That's what the Supreme Court literally says this. It says, importantly, reasonable suspicion only means that immigration officers can completely stop the individual and inquire about the immigration status. They cannot arrest them using reasonable suspicion. They need probable cause.
Then you need to run for Senate and try to change it.
I'm not. No, I don't need to run for Senate. That's what the Supreme Court said in September 2025. That's in a recent ruling about racial profiling.
Yeah,
and if you can use
Based on
racial
Title
profile
8
to build reasonable suspicion.
Based on Title 8 of the U.S. Code and regulations, immigration and customs enforcement officers are authorized to make certain arrests without judicial warrants based on probable suspicion or probable cause of immigration violations.
Probable cause. You need probable cause.
Probable suspicion or probable cause. You can
Probable
go read
suspicion
it.
is the other thing. It's for reasonable suspicion, and you need probable cause. I don't know what you're reading off of. I just read off the Supreme Court, what the Supreme Court said in 2025.
Well, I read off the
Hold on,
U.S.
hold on.
Code
What-
subsection
Say that again. Say that again,
1,300. 1 second. We're not talking to you yet.
Hold on, Tank. Go ahead, Bait, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. United States Code Section 8 or Title 8, subsection 1357. A2.
Just to be clear here, this isn't probably gonna matter.
Okay, while we have a moment, Scratch.
This
and
like
Bait,
what
shall,
like the reality is like the ultimate decider of like interpreter of legislation, and the decider of like how that's actually applied constitutionally is the. Sorry, it's the Supreme Court.
So again,
yeah.
then my term, in your opinion, is true.
This isn't in my opinion. I read from the Supreme Court.
It is.
So
Right,
wait, so
what
when
did
when I read from the Supreme Court that they say that reasonable suspicion can only be used to make brief stops of people, right? Which means that it can't be used to make which means it can't be used to make arrests. That's my opinion, or is that the Supreme
Right, but
Court's
it's
opinion?
detain.
Is that the Supreme Court's? Is that the
So
Supreme,
Scratch,
Right. Can the Supreme Court be wrong, though?
Huh?
Hold on. Can the Supreme Court be wrong?
Can the Supreme Court be wrong?
Yes, because where does it say
no,
a stop?
not really.
They can't be wrong. Okay.
Like
And
when you
how-
say
so
can
real quick,
the Supreme Court overturn like previous rulings? Yes. Is
No, I'm
the
not
is
saying
a is
that. Can they be wrong,
that what you're saying? Is the Supreme Court going to
No, that's
overturn?
not
Is
what I'm saying. What I'm saying
Okay.
is
Scratch,
clear.
it's
Can they be
okay.
wrong?
Listen,
wait, who's the
listen,
ultimate?
Scratch.
Wait, who's the ultimate? Who's the ultimate decider over like interpretations of legislation if it conflicts with the Constitution?
We the people are. We the people are.
Really, it isn't. So wait, it isn't.
Scratch.
That isn't directly
Yes.
under. Wait, so in Article 3 in Section 2, it doesn't clearly say that that's under the power of the Supreme Court, because it does. It literally
Yeah,
says.
I haven't read that, Scratch.
Well,
I
maybe you
can't
should read our
speak out of my ass
Constitution.
for that
I
one.
suggest you do, because that is the Supreme Court's
Real
job.
quick, Scratch, don't disrespect me, man. Don't get hostile. Don't go get all excited. Just relax. I was very transparent. Don't be a dick. Okay? Maybe you can do it on your lives when you host them. Hang on
I
real
don't
quick.
think that was
Tank,
a
how are
dick.
you?
I'm good. I'm just listening.
Okay. Hey, Scratch. Real quick, can you tell me why President Trump is not a great president in your opinion?
Okay, wait.
Outside of ICE,
I'm
we
literally
talked the ICE
it's
conversation.
It's the ICE stuff. Wait, I just want to be clear. You said Section 1357 A2, correct?
1 second. Let me go back to it.
Because that's not what it says.
Okay.
If he has reason to believe that aliens arrested in the United States in violation of any such law or regulation is likely to escape before a warrant can be obtained, but the alien arrested shall be taken with unnecessary delay for examination officer of the service having the authority to examine aliens as to their right to enter the United States. Yeah, it doesn't say
Yeah.
reason. It doesn't. Yeah, I don't know where you got the reasonable suspicion thing.
Yeah. Hey,
So
Scratch,
it doesn't
is
say that.
this
So
the way
no,
that
no, no,
you
no, no.
are
Okay, so
wanting
not
to
only were you
defend
wrong
them?
about the legislation,
Real quick,
it
so
didn't say
Scratch.
that.
Hold
No,
on,
he
I'm gonna go
wasn't.
find it. I read it. So I'll go
Scratch,
find it.
stop it.
I'm
Stop.
looking at
If
it
you
right
want to be a
now.
dick, like I said, you can do it. So Scratch, so was he. So I'm not gonna do Trust Me Bros.
You can look at. Do
Okay.
you want to read it?
I know that
It's on my
might be
screen.
what you got from Parker
Nope, it's on my screen.
and Dean.
It's on my screen. This is
Yeah,
literally US
so
code. Do you want to read it
right,
together?
thank you so
You
much.
can make me big screen. Go
What's
ahead.
the debate? You want me to read all those words with you?
I will read it to you
So
because
I'd
we're
love
reading
to.
this. See
You
the
need, by the way,
see the
Scratch, you
highlight
need
section.
Google to have the conversation.
When you
need
cite
Scratch, you need
specific
Google to debate
when
me.
you cite specific legislation,
Scratch,
I'm gonna go look it up.
thank you
Yes.
so much. Thank you so much.
So you were wrong. I'm
Appreciate
literally
that.
showing it. And by the way,
So
just for
no,
the
I
audience,
wasn't
because I'm
wrong.
sharing
That
right
was
now.
debate that said so.
Debate. Sorry.
And that was
Debate.
debate that said so.
Oh my god. Guys, what happened is he AI'd it. He AI'd the. I know Scratch is legit lost right now. He AI'd the legislation, section 1357, and he wrote off the AI overview, probably from ChatGPT. And when I actually went to look it up and it didn't say that, he got super defensive. That's hilarious. Like, this is. I fucking hate arguing with these people. It's insanely frustrating. The Supreme Court can't be okay. When I say the Supreme Court can't be wrong, they can't be wrong about the interpretation of the Constitution because they're the ones who do that, right? They can morally be wrong. Until something is overturned, the Supreme Court that is the correct interpretation, basically. At least as far as the Constitution is concerned, because the Supreme Court is the one who is in charge of making those determinations. So, where does AI get the information from Google and the internet? Are you dumb? AI misreads law. So he said the law said this specific thing about, what was it? Probable suspicion, which isn't even a thing, it's reasonable suspicion. So I was skeptical. I go to the law he cites, which was like what? USC section 1357 A2, and I go to that specific section and I read it out and I say, hey, what you said here about probable suspicion, which I was correct, isn't even here. You're wrong. And the reason that was is because he looked it up on AI. AI probably took a variety of sources, put that into a response, and some of those sources probably had wrong information, or AI just misinterpreted the legislation or made shit up because AI can do something. These large language models can do something called hallucinate. They can hallucinate. That's what it's called. And so when I looked it up, it didn't say that. And so he's using AI. That's how it works. They can overrule a court, but cannot delete the law. It's just, if you're going to say the Supreme Court's wrong because the Supreme Court overturned itself, then it'd be really weird that the same Supreme Court, which last year said that reasonable suspicion can only be used to make temporary stops, would overrule itself again. Is his answer right? No, his answer wasn't right. His answer is wrong. He just read the legislation wrong. So this posted on the internet, are we just... Bro, this whole thing is a headache, lol. If you did this for more than 30 minutes a day, I'd go insane. It's, yeah, I'm joining
Christians.
panels. I know.
That is true.
It would be preferably if y'all joined the Discord so we could debate. That would be better, since I have like mod powers and control here, and I wouldn't have to deal with getting kicked from a panel halfway through an argument. That is a possibility. That is something you can do right now. The Discord's in my bio. Just saying. Hey Scratch, how come you ended your live the other day mid chatting for lady? Because my roommate was going to sleep and I wasn't trying to interrupt him. He came in and he went to bed. And I have a roommate. Because I'm in college. And I don't go live when he's around because going live is super annoying. If you, like, imagine hearing this I can't imagine hearing myself debate while trying to just relax. Like, holy shit. Yeah, it's annoying. Debating's annoying. I enjoy it, but like I understand it's really annoying for other people. I think we're gonna try and find another panel.
Finney. Let's see if Mr. Finney. Mr.
Perhaps.
Schooled, and we don't sit there and dictate to her when she's got to do her schoolwork and everything else. She gets it done every day, but she's allowed to do it on her own schedule throughout the day. But she's also.
But she has. I could go on that panel, but I'm gonna wait.
She needs
You know what?
help.
I'm
then we
streaming
help her,
now.
but
I
we
could
don't sit
talk
there
to you
and
guys
say,
if they
okay,
need
as soon
me.
as you get up,
Fuck
you
yeah.
have to sit down and do your schoolwork for the next 4 or 5 hours or whatever. She's allowed to
Well,
do it
live
on
keeps
her own
autocorrecting
pace at
for
her
love.
own schedule, as long as she gets it
Damn.
done and
Bro
gets
saying I love
other
you
things
is
done
the
that she's
time.
supposed to do as well.
So it sounds to me like you're like one of the lucky few people that have a kid that actually like follows some rules and shit. Because I mean, like that, I think 90% of America does not have those children. I mean, they do not like to follow rules. They do not like to follow regiments. They do not like to follow anything.
She's very independent and can get a little bit of an attitude at times too. So she's not perfect, but I mean she's a great kid, very
It
smart.
sounds like it, yeah. And I really want to get to that aspect because I feel like screen time is a terminology that's going to disappear in the fact that screen time is just reality. It's what people do.
Well,
It's what kids do these days, and
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, Chris. I really do, right? But here's my question. You say that he's got, reading issues. Is that what you're saying?
no, what I'm saying is he's like let's get off the reading issues. Like I mean, my son can read. I mean, he can read. He's not reading at his grade level like most
Okay.
kids
Why
that
would
are
you?
The problem with half the take that panel is just people expressing their own
Found a
opinions
few
on
parks
bullshit.
down there. Got to have run.
I don't give a fuck about it. I really don't. It's just super hard to care. What's the coalition doing? Nothing super important. Is Ringgold live? Ringgold is not live. Let me check Ringgold.
Some people.
Here, we're gonna shut this off real quick for y'all. Oh my gosh. Oh, Nabra is live. Let's request up. I know Nabra. You guys might enjoy this if we don't get kicked instantly. That's a big if. What's up, Nabra?
What's up, Scratch?
Making the rounds, criticizing nice. It's oh sorry, give me a sec. The one I'm talking about is Gnome v Vascular. I can't pronounce it. Here, I'm gonna put it in chat for you. It's this one.
Damn, I don't know.
And here's the quote, the full quote.
All right, let's try that now.
What's up?
What's up, buddy?
Yeah, just criticize nice, you know? Don't think they're a great institution.
No, criticizing ICE is pretty base.
Nabras against ICE.
I have been, bro. Where you been?
I don't know. Maybe living in a different plane
I
of
don't,
existence.
I don't, I don't fuck with the feds, bro. Oh shit, I got it figured out. Hold on.
What up, players?
Does frugal
What it
fuck with
do?
ICE though?
Say it again.
Does frugal fuck with ICE?
I don't know what that means. I don't not support ICE.
Yeah, I don't support ICE right now.
I do not support them. I think that they're doing the job that they're tasked to do. And if we need somebody else to do it other than ICE, then I mean, we can get them to do it. But unfortunately, we've got two agencies that are in control of it at the moment.
I just
Which
like
is,
Border
ICE is
Patrol
going
and
around.
ICE.
I guess we could
I
say
think
three.
it's like
HSI.
I think ICE is violating the Fourth Amendment.
We got echoes going on.
Yeah, it's not, bro. Yeah, I think I don't know if it's your. I think your speaker might be up, or I don't know. I don't know why the audio would be happening on the host part.
You're echoing pretty bad.
Nah, bro.
Hello?
Can you like mute for a second? Like, let's see if it echoes still. Okay. Yeah, it's not echoing anymore. It's nah, bro.
Yeah.
Either your
Definitely not,
mic's
bro.
too sensitive. I don't know. But yeah, I think ICE is violating the Fourth Amendment. I think it's pretty obvious. I think like you know, I don't know if you'd agree with me with this, but to make an arrest, a warrantless arrest, ICE needs probable cause. I think there's certain court cases out there. Leo v. DHS, where they've already issued pro injunction, which is a class action lawsuit, barring where they've are likely that the plaintiffs are going to win in the merits, that ICE is, as a policy, violating or only making arrests based on reasonable suspicions or probable cause. And when we have
Nabras
people like,
unmuted again, dude.
and we have people like Greg Bovino, who are in charge of these ICE and CBP operations, coming out and saying that they only need reasonable suspicion and they don't need probable cause to make arrests. And I think it's like pretty obvious that they're violating the Fourth Amendment. Yeah.
All right, so let's be clear here for a second, okay? You realize, you know who Bovino is in charge of, right?
Greg Bovino was the commander at large for ICE and CBP operations in Los Angeles, Chicago, and LA. But his original
Right,
post was
so-
only over CBP.
Yeah, so it's interesting that like you claim this guy that's going on almost 3 decades of service with the Border Patrol, not ICE, which is two completely
Yeah, but
separate
he was
entities.
commander at large. He was commander at large.
I understand, friend. I understand. But at the end of the day, they are following the procedures and the laws that are prescribed to them by the legislative branch. And so you have to remember that, there have also been other court cases, like Shaughnessy, Mezzi, Thoracicum, DHS, that talk about, how these due processes or the Constitution does not apply necessarily to individuals that have entered the country illegally. And there's going to be some certain circumstances that take place, right? The time period of which you've been here, the distance you are from border. But again, you have to take all of that into consideration, Scratch.
I don't know how those court cases are relevant to anything I said. I wasn't talking about due process. I was talking about the Fourth Amendment, due process under the 5th and the 14th. The Fourth Amendment is unreasonable search and seizure to your property, persons, etc. I was specifically referencing a court case where they said that was like going on. If you want relevant legislation about that, specifically pertaining to immigrants, I think it was like Novi. I can't pronounce this. Like was cause. It's the recent one about racial profiling, and in it they specify that yes, you can use racial profiling to build towards reasonable suspicion. It's not the only thing, but reasonable suspicion can only be used to make temporary stops of people. So when ICE is using reasonable suspicion to make full-on arrests of people, that is against the Constitution. That's against the Fourth Amendment, and this is pertaining to immigrants, legal and illegal.
I'm gonna switch devices really quickly. I'll be right back. Okay, just give me 1 second.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'll see ya. See ya.
No, I mean, trust me, I'll be right back.
I'll see ya.
Just relax.
Oh, okay. Totally.
What's up, fellas?
Coming over legally and illegally, there's a big difference. Whether
Can't hear you.
that has nothing to do with the.
You know, I can't hear you.
I'm streaming on YouTube, so I'm talking to chat on it. Quick, sorry.
Yeah, casual. I'm stalking you.
Like people say, people with TPS are running for silent legal. It doesn't matter because we're talking about the Fourth Amendment and like how that applies to even inquiring if somebody is illegal or not.
Yeah,
That's
I know. Can you hear me now? Yeah, you can now.
Sometimes it matters, but it doesn't matter in this
I'm trying to
case.
set this up, but it's not working very well.
You have the most technical difficulties than anybody, I think.
I need to just go on fucking studio already, so
Huh?
I have the fucking earbuds plugged into the mic, but
Earbuds, but I don't know how to use them.
I have wired headphones that plug into the mic. But I don't know.
The fuck is this thing? The charging thing?
Anybody suggesting that I would ever be a track star to Scratch is just like out of their ever loving minds. No, my phone was legitimately about to die, so
It's
I didn't
gonna
wanna
be
have
a
a
brutal
conversation.
W for Scratch.
Nobody cares,
Bro.
Regal.
No, I didn't want to
Nobody
be in the middle. I didn't want to be in the middle of talking and then my phone died. So I felt it was best that it, didn't have that look of impropriety if that happened. So I got ahead of the game here.
Nobody cares.
I know, Messi.
Thank you, Messi.
How have you been? I feel like it's been a long time since I've gotten yelled at by Messi. How have you been?
I've been better.
All right. Well, do I want to hear about it?
I don't care to talk to you about it.
Okay, good. Thank you. I didn't want to hear about it.
Slay Queen.
What's that?
Huh? I was talking to Messi. He said Slay Queen.
Oh. Yep. All right. So, back to your court cases and your individuals that ICE is violating the Fourth Amendment and all these other things that you are asserting with feelings. Let's talk about it.
I'm not asserting feelings.
Is this
guys?
a
I'm asserting
frugal cringy debate?
Huh?
No, not this is Scratch. By the way,
I'm asserting.
Don't be
Guys, I'm
racist.
asserting. I'm
Don't be
asserting
racist
feelings
just
when I
because
reference
they're
a
both
court
black
case and I
doesn't
reference a
mean they're
preliminary
not
judgment that a
people.
judge issued through the plaintiffs in a class action lawsuit. As in my feelings. True. Oof. Feelings all day.
Testing.
You're
Referencing my
good.
feelings when I directly said it. When I directly
you can
quote.
hear me?
Greg
Yeah, we
Bambino.
hear you. No,
Those are my
no
feelings.
reverb or echoing going on.
Nice. But no, Messi, this is not a Scratch and frugal debate. I was just over here on the struggle bus and they were talking while I was trying to figure it out.
We were trying to fill the gap while Nabra was trying to figure out his audio problems.
No biggie.
Just undefensible. And if you accept the fact that you can't use reasonable suspicion to make an arrest, then just unequivocally a violation of the Fourth Amendment.
I mean, I think RAS is always, going to be there. And I would argue that anybody that can't speak the English language would rise to the level of RAS.
RAS?
Nay.
Reasonable articulable suspicion.
Okay. So can you use reasonable suspicion to make an arrest?
RAS is what we would use to detain an individual.
What do you mean?
But that's
When you
not
say
what we
detain,
would
do you mean a
use-
Terry stop and is in a brief temporary stop to question somebody about their immigration status?
I would argue, by the way, anytime you're stopped, you're under arrest. It's not only just a detainment; it's arrest. But yes, correct.
That's not in the INA. You can read like section 1226. It explicitly says it says arrest and detain. So as in arrest first, then detain. So the
They're
way
one and
they,
the same.
that's
by the
why
way.
that's
If
why
you're
they have
not
that's
free
why
to
they have.
go-
Wait, can I finish? That's why they have something detention
ahead.
centers, because detainment is what happens afterwards. So it's just some terminology wrong. I'm gonna go strictly by the legal standard here, by the law, right? The initial stop that somebody can do of reasonable suspicion is called a Terry stop, right? That's from Terry v. Delaware, Terry v. United States, right? Already established that. Then they can arrest you.
Wait,
if
Terry
they
v.
can build
That's Terry v. Ohio.
Terry v. Ohio. Oh fuck! God damn it! Fuck me.
And doesn't Terry
Sorry,
have to
then-
do with removing an individual out of a vehicle? Am I?
No.
Well, it's detainment as a whole, but yeah, specifically with the vehicle. Yeah,
But
What's up,
it's about
Chris?
removing
Thank you.
them. It's about physically removing them out, asking them to leave that vehicle. That is what the Terry stop is
No,
defining.
a Terry stop is about being able to temporarily stop
Look,
somebody
I'm
with
trying to
some reasonable suspicion.
remember. I'm just trying to remember. Don't hit me because I get something. What's the stop then that discusses when they can pull them out of the vehicle?
The same thing. It falls under the same.
Okay, so then I'm not wrong here, Scratch.
That'd be under it, but like to try and like say the entire thing of a Terry stop is all that. No, it's about being able to like temporary stop somebody. And we're just only pertaining to immigration, right? Inquire about the immigration status. So that's what like reasonable suspicion allows you to do. Then, if you can build probable cause, maybe from reasonable suspicion, or you already had probable cause and you didn't even need reasonable suspicion, you can arrest them using that. And then after arresting comes detaining, right? That's why you have detainment centers.
Let me stop you. And again, I'm going to argue all day long. By the Webster definition, arrest and detainment are one and the same. The words are interchangeable.
I'm not using the
If
Webster
you are
definition.
not free to go, you are under arrest, my guy.
I'm not using the
You
Webster
can-
definition.
It doesn't matter.
I'm
And
using
so,
the
like,
definition under the INA.
it doesn't matter what
Yeah, it
definition
does. We're
you
talking
want
about
to
immigration
use.
law.
Again, I'm going to argue all day long that it is the exact same thing. So we can move on in the conversation, just understanding that arrest and detainment are in
Okay,
fact
no,
the
just
same.
it's fine. We can move on. I don't really care, I guess. But like, I'm just gonna say, like, I'm using the actual definition of the INA, whatever. Anyways, to make it an arrest or to detain somebody, you need probable
Thank you,
cause.
Kate. Thank you.
Do you agree with that, Frugal?
Under the law of where you're saying that to take them and put them in handcuffs and bring
arrest
them
them.
to that would be your legal definition of under arrest, right? So detainment means I stopped you for an investigation. So if that's the kind of definition that you want to utilize, I'm always going to argue that detainment and arrest are the exact same.
Wait.
meaning once
Okay,
somebody
wait.
says-
When you say detain, when you say detain, do you just mean like a temporary stop to inquire?
Once again,
About-
I'm gonna always use that arrested and detained are the same.
Wait,
I was under arrest. I will
you're
never
just
use-
you're
I
jumping
will never
between
use detained.
definitions. When you
Hey guys, real quick though, I have a flash goal of ice cream cones. So if everyone could send one ice cream cone, just one, Alicia. Thank you though.
okay,
But
I don't
need-
understand
I
why
need
you're
ice
going between
cream cones.
definitions, but that's fine. So you're saying whichever one I go
Okay,
by,
carry
you're
on,
okay
carry
saying.
on.
Is
Well,
that what you're
because
saying,
it's
Frugal?
important. No, because it's important because what happens, particularly for the youth, like, when a police officer comes behind you and they put their lights on, they like to say you're being detained. Well, I think it's important for the youth and everybody to understand that you're not being detained. You are under arrest. And if everybody can get that in their head, the second that you get pulled over or have the lights behind you and you're no longer free to go, that you're under arrest, maybe you might start to understand your rights a little bit more versus the officer coming up to you and saying,
That's not.
"Oh, you're
That's
just
not what being arrested
detained."
is.
Hold on. But it is in fact
Being arrested is taking somebody into custody.
Again, y'all aren't
That's not being
understanding
arrested.
it, and it is.
We do understand it, Frugal. You're the one who is making up a definition here.
I'm not.
Being arrested is
You are.
taking. Being arrested
Y'all
is
wanna
taking
do
somebody
this?
into custody. You're just making a
Can
definition.
somebody pull up the Merriam definition of under
No,
arrest?
we're not going to do
Hold
this.
on, anybody, stop. Casual, please stop. I would like to do this really quickly. Scratch, you're on a computer. Will you go ahead and read out the definition of arrest? And then would you please read out the definition, Merriam, of detained? Please do it for us.
We're not using Merriam-Webster
No,
definitions.
sir. No, look, this is
Wait,
just.
wait, why?
This is
Okay,
what the,
wait. If we're talking
this is
about,
what
if we're
the
talking,
definitions are.
Frugal,
Are you
Frugal,
afraid of?
Frugal,
Are you afraid
Frugal.
of what the? Hey,
No.
Scratch. Are you afraid of the definition?
Frugal, if we're
So just
talking
read it
about
out.
Frugal, if we're
So
talking
read
about
it out.
if we're talking about immigration law,
Read
should we
it
use
out.
if we're talking about immigration law, should we use the definitions under the law or under Merriam-Webster?
My guy, we will take the
Can you answer that
definitions.
question?
We will take the definitions and then we will apply them as
If we're
appropriate.
using
But what we are talking about, what I'm talking about is, again, anytime you are no longer free to go, you are under arrest. If you want to talk about the definition legally of being under arrest,
yes,
what the
no shot. We're
what the
talking about the
police
definition
want-
legally. We're
hold
talking
on,
about
what
Fourth
the
Amendment
police
violations.
would like to
Frugal.
utilize, what the police
Are we
have
serious?
to utilize for under arrest, that's completely different. But for us as average,
We're
everyday
talking about
citizens,
legal. Frugal.
for us as every
This is a
average
legal
day
conversation in a
citizens,
legal context.
for
Are we serious?
us as
Frugal.
everyday average citizens,
We're
you
not
need
talking
to
about everyday
realize
average citizens. We're
every
talking about
time-
the legality
my
that's
guy,
under
every
the INA and if it's a violation of the Fourth
time,
Amendment.
every
What are we
time,
talking about?
Every
Alright.
single time you have the lights on you, or
Frugal,
you
we
are no
started this
longer
conversation
free to
talking about Fourth
go,
Amendment violations.
you are under arrest. Understand that, Scratch.
Frugal, can you chill,
Guys,
please?
yeah,
I
real
will
quick.
when you stop trying to talk over me, okay?
Dude, you've been talking over everybody.
I'm sorry. I just need 10 more ice cream cones. Go ahead, Casual. 10 more ice cream cones, everyone.
I just Frugal at the very beginning accused.
Once
Fred,
again,
you-
read the
okay.
hold on. Before we move
Frugal,
on, can we
you-
get the definition read, please?
Post
Out loud for
WK,
everybody. Stop,
WK.
Casual. Can we get this read out loud, Scratch?
Can
Can
we
you
get
do
an
that,
intervention
please?
here?
Please,
Because
can you
I'm
do that,
just trying
please?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Hold on. Scratch. Go ahead and do Frugal the favor of pulling up the definition. While you're doing that, Casual, go ahead and make your point.
All right. So Frugal is making up his own definition here of what he means by arrest and detainment, which is fine if that's the definition he wants to argue. But technically, under the law, a detainment is not an arrest. I think you could get any first-year lawyer up here to like confirm that. So I don't know why he's going to the mat trying to claim that detainment and arrest are the same thing. They're not even de facto the same thing.
Once again, we
Can I
just
throw
go
in
to
real
the-
quick?
Can we call it? No, please. Can we call in the definition of Miriam or any? Hold on, any recognizable definition?
Yeah,
or
I have.
dictionary, please.
I have from the Legal Information Institute. In criminal law, to detain an individual is to hold them in custody, normally for a temporary period of time. That's the legal. From
What is
legal
arrest?
arrest? Let's see. What about arrest?
I think I can answer that with a clarifying
Redacted.
question.
We don't need your answer. We're looking for the actual.
An arrest is the use of legal authority to deprive a person of their freedom of movement. So,
and
unless
so-
I'm wrong, Kate, comment if I'm
Where
wrong
do
or
we?
not.
So here's the clarifying question. Here's
Where does that
you've been running your mouth for the last 10 minutes,
No,
bro.
my guy, you just got up here. Where does
Yeah,
that differ?
so
in the
Yeah, I
definition,
understand.
please?
My entire
Wait, hold on,
argument,
need somebody to answer where
my entire argument was like the way that detain is used is different under the
I need
INA.
y'all to acknowledge they're
And the
one and the
arguments
same.
about
Please.
the arguments Frugal.
So
the arguments about
that's kind of what I
immigration,
want to.
so under the INA, like if and I reference like section 1226, it specifically says like, oh, under warrant they're allowed to arrest and then detain the person, right? So when under immigration, when we're talking about detention under immigration law, we're talking about after arrest and after you've been taken into custody. At that point, they're detained. And so when we're talking about immigrants specifically, the correct definitions would go, a temporary stop can be Terry stop. After that, when they're taken into custody, that would be an arrest. And then after that, they would be detained. So I was saying, like,
Can we detain some ice cream cones? 9 more individual ice cream cones, everyone.
So
9
that's
more.
what I was saying. I don't like. That's
Scratch,
why I
I
wasn't
need you
using
to
the
stop
man
for a
upstairs
second.
because we're talking about immigration law.
What y'all are failing to recognize here is all I'm trying to get you to understand is anytime those
Thank you,
lights
guys.
come on
Thank you.
behind you, or if an officer
We're
has
talking about
stopped
immigration
you,
law, bro.
again,
Please.
why can you
Please.
not let me finish a sentence?
Because it's irrelevant to the
without,
subject we're
interrupting
talking
me
about.
here?
I say definitions under the INA, and you start talking about definitions in general. Please get on subject.
Do you
It's
want me to
annoying.
give you the same respect? Would you like me to pay you the same
Yeah,
respect?
part
or
of
do you just
respect
want
is
me
not
doing
wasting
this
my
back and
time by
forth?
talking about things that are inconsequential
wasting
to the
your
argument
time
I'm
right
making.
now.
You're wasting my
Scratch.
time right now.
If I am admitted to the hospital for cardiac arrest, does that usually
you, guys.
involve a law enforcement officer?
Redacted, you're
Not
just dumb. Your
sometimes, I
dumb
guess,
Alabama
maybe.
ass is coming in here making dumb comments.
If I am,
What are you
if
trying
I'm
to do right
admitted
now?
to the hospital, if I'm
We don't
admitted
need
to the
stupid
hospital for
Alabama
if I'm
conversations, my
admitted to the
guy.
hospital for cardiac arrest, does that
Hey,
usually
we
involve a
already
law
know
enforcement
that
officer?
your brain
Answer my
is already on a
goddamn
different
question,
level
Frugal.
from being in Alabama.
Answer my
guy.
goddamn
Thanks,
question,
Sam.
Frugal.
Your
Thank you,
small
Sam.
Alabama brain is already showing.
If I'm
through, my
admitted
guy.
to the hospital for cardiac arrest, does that usually involve a law enforcement
I
officer?
don't know. You tell me with your small Alabama brain. I don't know what you're trying to get at here, Redacted.
If
Generally,
I
no.
You have some of the
am
Generally,
admitted
no.
I've ever
to the
heard.
hospital for cardiac arrest, does that usually involve a law enforcement officer?
Generally, no.
Damn, that's fucking embarrassing.
Oh,
Anyway,
what the
you guys
hell?
can have it back.
Why did Frugal catch a violation? Oh, harassment. Oh, because he was making fun of Alabama.
That's hilarious.
See you later, pussy.
That tracks with
That's
the
hilarious.
no reporting though. Although it was a 10-minute, so it's probably the AI that caught that. The
I actually
AI has
hate
been
this.
sensitive
So anyway,
lately.
what the fuck was that?
I don't know, but I need 3 more ice cream cones.
I don't know why he was going to that.
You've
I
already
don't know why
said
he's
one,
being so
Scratch.
like
Do you-
insistent. Like I just use the definitions like the INA is generally giving. I don't know if we're talking about the INA.
I mean, he's using it in a completely unintuitive way. I mean, he's not even claiming that it's a de facto.
I think you already sent one, Slayer. I think
No?
so.
I don't know why I don't know what he's going to eventually try to prove, but. And I'm not even a lawyer, and I know that.
I mean, I think I understand the premise, right? That if you're detained and you're not free to go, it's similar to being arrested, right? I wouldn't disagree with that, but no, the legal definitions are different, right? Your arrest means you're not leaving. Detainment, I mean, I may be wrong. I don't know. There's lawyers in here. You can be put in handcuffs for a detainment, can you not?
You sure can.
Yeah, so
But I think the key word or the key phrase that you used when you looked up was the deprivation of rights, the technical deprivation.
freedom of movement, yeah.
No, what I was talking about specifically is that under the INA, it seems like detain and arrest are just defined differently than like in the rest of the law, and so it was more relevant to use those definitions. For
Well,
the debate.
they are though. They are in the INA. Yeah, they are because it. So when I have it pulled up, I think 8 USC 1357, right? So any officer or employee of the service authorized and designated under the regulations prescribed by the Attorney General, whether individually or as one class, shall have power to conduct a search without warrant of the person and the personal effects in the possession of any person seeking admission to the United States, concerning whom such officer or employee may have reasonable cause to suspect that grounds exist for denial of admission to the United States under this chapter. So that's one part, right? Where they're like, if you think that they're doing some bad shit, you can
That'd be
search
reasonable
them and detain
suspicion.
them, right?
So if
Yeah,
you have
but
reasonable
that's the
suspicion,
thing.
you
It
can search
doesn't.
someone.
But it doesn't lay it out as reasonable, right? It
It
just says
doesn't,
they
but
have,
like
if
we
they
can,
think.
but like then that just means we just need to reference case law, or just the Supreme Court.
But then you also have, let me see. There's another one in here. So
And the Supreme Court specifically says
Oh,
that
here we go.
importantly, reasonable suspicion means only that immigration officers may briefly stop an individual and inquire about immigration status. So you have to combine the legislation with the case law.
one more ice cream cone, guys. One more ice cream cone, please. I know it's cold outside, but I could really use one more ice cream cone. The other one though that I like is let me see, where's it at? Let's see. So, oh yeah. So 1357 subsection A, to interrogate any alien or person believed to be an alien as to his or her right to remain in the United States. So that's where I would actually like to have like Vader, or I know Kate's busy. Vader's not busy. I don't know why he's just staying down there. But if you suspect even a citizen of being in the country illegally, right? Like, how do you go about that? If you go, hey, are you in the country? Are you a citizen? We're not required to prove that. So I'm curious how that works, like how that's constitutional. But I don't know. I'm not a paid linguist like Vader.
Well, if you read the INA, whenever they're saying detained, they're saying they're always
That's what I'm
referencing
reading.
to they're always referencing to after arrest.
Yeah, I'm just looking at powers without a warrant.
Yeah.
So powers without a warrant, you can go up and detain someone and say, hey, I think you're in the country illegally.
I just want to call that like read the section, like they don't call it detain. They don't call that search you can detain
Oh,
somebody.
W on the live goal, you
But
guys.
like if you
or on
read
the flash goal. Thank you.
if you
Go,
read
Scratch,
lower,
go.
it talks about like detention and whether they're not already detained by federal, state, or local officials. And when they detention in that sense means like they're already like sitting in a jail or they're already under the control, which would be prior or after arrest. And the same like section I was talking like 1226 about arrest and detain. So the detainment coming afterwards, and that's why they call them like detention facilities when it comes to ICE, because under the INA detention happens after the arrest.
Well, and Lawyer Bay, I recognize that it says Reloaded, but I'm assuming it's the same one. I recognize her from like Vader and Kate's lives that they had done before. Can you clean some of this up for us, please? Pretty please.
So I just popped in. Are y'all talking about warrantless detentions of people who are suspected?
I'm saying
Well,
that
even that
detention
is-
happens under the after arrest in the INA.
Well, regardless, detention and arrest are both subject to the Fourth Amendment, right? Like,
Yeah, I agree.
period. So if I'm walking down the street and a cop wants me to stop walking, then he is at that point the Fourth Amendment is in play. I can consent to stop walking, or he will have to have reasonable articulable suspicion of a crime. In this case, violation of immigration law. And then that's a brief detention, like 7 to 10 minutes, and then he would have to develop probable cause for a violation of a crime. Again, in this case, immigration law, to either detain me any further or institute a full custody
I agree.
arrest
I'm
or
just saying,
detention.
when I read the INA, they always talk about it seems like they always talk about detainment coming after arrest. They're talking like arrest and then
Well, no, you get
Well-
detained before too, though. You can be detained before and after.
Well, and I think just in the immigration context specifically, just standing here, let's say, somebody just flew over in a plane, dropped me out of a helicopter at low speed, and now I'm just here with no status. That's not a crime, right? And so detention, I think, is generally referencing a civil violation, and then arrest is referencing a criminal charge. So I think that maybe. Sorry, I got a phone call. Be right back.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I mean, the INA is pretty broad with some of the interpretations of powers.
And it's archaic, but regardless, a statute can't override constitutional rights. So, I
it
think,
seems like,
especially in today's.
Immigration or detain refers to the authority of Homeland Security to hold non-citizens in custody, often in ICE detention facilities during removal proceedings, following the final order of removal or a mandatory detention. Yeah, it seems like that's why they call them detention facilities, because it's after arrest.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
So
just
the INA
like
just seems
when you
weird like
read it,
that.
right? Yeah, well, when you read it, right, and it's like if they perceive or suspect that someone is in the country illegally. So, I mean, that's
I agree
that's
that
a pretty
they can do
broad
that.
interpretation.
Wait, I'm not denying that
But it
they
also-
can do that. That's not my claim. My claim is that that's not.
But
they're
that
not
would
calling
also
they're
require-
not calling that detention. They just need reasonable suspicion to do that. But they're not using reasonable
But it also
suspicion.
requires that they are a flight risk if you're talking about detention or arrest without a warrant.
under the INA.
If you read that.
But the problem is what they're doing is that not only are they just temporarily stopping people, they're arresting people only using reasonable suspicion. When to do an arrest,
The
you need probable
problem is that
cause.
they're violating every
the Fourth Amendment.
corner of the Constitution.
Yeah, which is a violation of the Fourth Amendment, because to do arrest, you need probable cause.
Yeah,
If I
fourth,
could-
first. I mean, at this point, y'all could probably expect to share your oatmeal with a soldier soon.
Sure.
Did I not
I have
catch-
constitutional violation bingo. My Discord server.
Did I not catch
Let me get in on that.
Did I catch Frugal earlier implying that that due process doesn't apply to anyone other than American citizens? I thought that's sort of what I thought I caught early when I just got in here. He was talking
I think he can come back up in 5 minutes.
Okay.
I think Frugal, because it was a 10-minute violation, so
Yeah.
it was AI.
I mean, at this point, I mean, nearly every one of us is either in front of a computer or holding a computer. There's just no reason that is just willful ignorance.
No.
Yeah, even
He's claiming that.
section 11226, the INA even says like apprehension and detention of aliens. Like detention comes after they've been apprehended already.
And Lisa in the comments, what this is a couple of different factions, or the architects of this. They've tapped into a racial resentment in this nation from our failure to rectify or remedy or deal with even our past. And they think much of white America, is a certain portion of it, thinks this is the rise of the South on surveillance state steroids. So far, going horribly wrong for white people. But common Schnauz's mistake invade a winter people in the winter.
Damn.
I wonder if it's under the definitions section that they have detained here.
So you're looking for the definition of like
What up, Baldwin?
I'm saying I want to like specifically
or arrest.
Huh? No, no. Across the wall, I'm just saying that under the INA that detention comes after arrest.
Well, no, a detention. I mean, so even in the regular context, let's say, like I said, I'm walking down the street. A detention is first, right? You have at this point said, "Hey, stop walking. I want to talk to you." Now I can
That's
say,
detention.
"Oh, that's a detention." Yeah, it's
Yeah,
essentially
like-
it's a seizure of my person. An
Yeah, when I
arrest.
Yeah, I was gonna say when I was a Fed, I detain people a lot. Not all detentions result in arrest. So
Right, detention is briefer, and then
there's-
you have a full custody arrest.
yes,
See how fucking easy that was?
Then there's in custody. Yeah.
But okay, the problem is that under the INA that when they reference detention or somebody being detained, they reference them after or already being arrested, and it's always
you mean
like
as
that's
far
why
as
it's like
like they're in a
it's
detention
apprehension
center,
and
like that
detention.
sort of?
It's like a detention center.
Well,
So
well,
it seems
what
to me
that
like it's
is
referencing in the INA that like they're talking about detention coming afterwards.
It's a little bit different. That's it's just a more. You're not going to find a definition of that. What that means is we've put you in jail, but we've not charged you with a crime, so we're going to call it detention instead of incarceration.
Yeah, it's not jail, it's not prison. And if you look at things, there's detention centers out there, right? That's where people are usually at while awaiting trial. While awaiting trial. But
those are just called jails.
There's a difference between detention centers.
Well, that's the
You
thing.
can
One
call
is a
it-
civil. One is they're being detained under generally civil proceedings for deportation, right? And then the other one, you've been charged in either you're waiting trial or you have been convicted of a crime and are now incarcerated under a penal code.
But from my understanding, that they can keep them until they're deported.
But it's still civil. That's why they're calling it detention and not incarceration.
Would they really send you to a different place if that was happening? Like if they, I don't know, they don't ever do this, but if they arrested, if they arrested an immigrant to actually like go after them for illegally crossing the border rather than just proving to cross the border and then getting removal order from that, wouldn't they just hold them in the same detention center?
The reality is there are several ways that can be a crime, but the majority of the time, the United States does not charge them with a crime because then they are subject to, both Fifth Amendment and Sixth Amendment rights to, trial and to an attorney. At which point they would have to provide an attorney because you're facing incarceration, and so we don't charge them with crimes. We deport them because it's easier and cheaper.
Yeah, I agree. I'm saying if that would happen, would they just hold them in the same detention facility though? Oh, and I can't hear you for some reason. Lost connection. Give me a sec. Oh, it looks like yeah, I did this. Okay. I can't hear you still. Give me a sec. You're not doing so good. Audio relay. Why are we not working now? Fuck.